Hey there everyone. So remember last time in One Piece, we saw that Kuma and Ginny have all grown up, and Kuma, he became a pastor just like his father. There he used his amazing powers to heal the elderly people's back pain, but that extracted pain never truly vanished. It had to go somewhere, and Kuma, he bravely took it upon himself every single weekend. It just makes you think of Zoro, doesn't it? How he endured it just once and became a complete mess. Well, anyway, the new king had become a total lapdog for the celestial dragons, demanding tributes from peoples, and anyone who failed to pay were turned into slaves, destined to die. And those poor old folks, they got caught in this terrible spiral, and that's why Kuma stepped in like a true hero to save them all. For that, he was branded a criminal, and after him, Ginny and their two other friends were thrown into jail too, and that's when Ivankov showed up with Dragon to free Kuma and this land from world government, and ever since that day Kuma and Ginny, they both joined the revolutionary army, fighting with all their might against that oppressive world government. But then one day, while both were out on a mission on different locations, Ginny, she was suddenly kidnapped, and from that moment on, a heartbreaking saga and a wave of unbearable pain, it washed over Kuma again. I just can't imagine how much agony one soul has to endure. After Ginny was taken 2 long years have just slipped away at the headquarters, they heard rebels in Toomey Kingdom desperately needed help. But they themselves were overwhelmed and were carrying so many injured people. But Kuma, he decided to go there alone because losing Ginny had absolutely shattered him to pieces. It broke him beyond all imagination, because from the surviving members, they learned the horrifying truth that the Navy itself had kidnapped Ginny all because a celestial dragon, a monster, had set his eyes on her, wanting to make Ginny his wife. That was the devastating reason Kuma was risking his life on every single turn, throwing himself into danger. Though his sacrifice brought freedom to others, but Kuma himself was trapped and imprisoned in a never-ending loop of pain for his entire life. So get ready, because from here on out this is where Kuma becomes a father. Now a small ship arrived in the South Blue, as somehow Ginny was in it with her tiny baby. And after that she immediately called the revolutionary headquarters. Ivankov brought Kuma, and hearing Kuma's voice, it filled her with such joy. But then she broke the news that the celestial dragon, he had thrown her out because she had gotten sick, so she come back just to say goodbye because she is so close to death. That's why she apologized to Kuma for leaving him. Ivankov quick as a flash asked for her location, and Kuma, he instantly realized she's in the South Blue in Sorbet Kingdom, back in their home. Even in her last moments, Ginny begged Ivankov to take care of Kuma, and finally, while taking her last breath, she died, while whispering she loved Kuma to the bitter end. The old folks, they were already at the church, waiting for Kuma. As Ginny had made it back, Kuma got inside, and saw these strange blue stones. They were covering her body. She had told others that if she were exposed to natural light, her skin would turn blue, and her hair becomes like stones. Such a cruel fate for such a kind and warm person like her. And Kuma, he recalled every single moment he had spent with Ginny, but right there, right beside her, was her child, the baby she had carried all this way in sunlight, making sure she would survive. And Kuma, from that day on, he committed his entire life to raising Ginny's baby. That's just so heavy. Well, from then on, Kuma truly began his duties as a daddy, but he was totally unable to figure out how to feed a baby. No wonder he was scolded by everyone, but soon he got the hang of it. She reminded Kuma so much of Ginny. She was such a glutton too, but enduring all that pain, he started to raise the little Bonnie, and time, it just kept passing by, and Bonnie kept growing up. From the smallest thing she did, Kuma just got so happy and so proud of his little daughter. Those were some truly peaceful times, and Kuma, he spent every moment with the little Bonnie, and soon, when she grew enough to stay alone, Kuma then returned to his work in the Revolutionary Army, but he rushed back home as soon as his missions were over. Getting back to Bonnie as fast as he possibly could had become a norm, but then one day at night, he saw Bonnie came running to him like she always did, but the stone, it had started growing on her face, so he sealed up the whole church to prevent any light from getting in, because she got the same terrible disease as Ginny, his friends. They saw this and quickly ran out to fetch doctors. They examined her. One doctor said he had never seen a disease like this, and asked Kuma to take Bonnie outside. Then another one examined her too. But no luck, because it was far too rare. Kuma then told the headquarters about this, and resolved to leave the army to find a cure for his precious daughter. Dragon didn't object. In fact, he promised to look for a cure too. Then Bonnie. She was being just as much of a troublemaker as her mother. Those who made fun of her. She always taught them a lesson the hard way. But Kuma gets worried every single time she got near Light. Bonnie said she knew it too and didn't ever want to make him sad. But those cruel kids were making fun of her disease, so Kuma cheered her up, telling her those were jewels on her. Then, just casually, he asked Bonnie her dream place. She said she wished to go to Sky Island, that's in the clouds. There were mentions of it in books too, and she thought maybe Nika would be there. That reminded Kuma of the Nika dance. And Bonnie joined him in the dance, and at that moment they promised that they'd go there one day. But then the doctor found out about this disease. It's called sapphire scales, and said none of the patients survives because all sorts of natural light makes the stones spread across the body, and even if they don't let the light fall on them, it will still grow slowly, so Bonnie would die too, probably before she turns 10. Kuma was once again broken, knowing he would even lose the one hope that had kept him living. And when he got back, Bonnie gave him a jump scare. She had heard the gist of the conversation, about 10 years old. She guessed it would be about her, so Kuma made up a story that she's going to be cured at 10, and she got so happy, thinking she'd be able to go on a trip with her father. Then another year passed, and the king returned with the help of the world government to again take control of Sorbet Kingdom. So the next time, we'll see Kuma embark on a desperate journey to find the smartest man on the planet to save his daughter from this terrible disease. But the price that comes with his help is absolutely insane. And right there, our episode 1132 ends. So stay tuned to watch the next incredible episode, and for that, please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to get all the latest updates. Till then, take care.